Down to just a few weeks away to the end of the regular season, which means we are getting that much closer to March Madness and the CA Men's Basketball Tournament. Welcome in, folks. I'm Bobby Broyles along with Rob Washburn for CA Hoops Weekly, presented by Under Armour. A lot of storylines from last week, Rob, as Hofstra takes the headliner once again, as Justin Wright Foreman's performance this past Saturday led the Pride not just to a win, but to remain at the top of the CA standings with only a few weeks remaining.
Yeah, if there was any question about how Hofstra might respond after having their 16-game winning streak snap, the Pride answered in a big way with a dominant performance against Elon last Thursday before rallying from 10 points down in the second half on Saturday to defeat William & Mary in another classic between the two teams. Now, while the Tribe's Nathan Knight turned in a sensational performance with a career-high 39 points and 14 rebounds, it was Hofstra's Justin Wright Foreman who stole the show, scoring 37 of his school record-tying 48 points in the second half to break the CA mark for points in a conference game. The effort earned Wright Foreman his second National Player of the Week honor, and he also passed Pride assistant coach Speedy Claxton for 7th place on the school's all-time scoring list with more than 2,000 points. While Hofstra sits atop the standings at 11-1, Northeastern and Charleston also turned in 2-0 weeks to stay right on their heels. The Huskies have won 8 of their last 9 following victories over William & Mary and Elon, while the Cougars extended their winning streak to 6 by going on the road and defeating Delaware and Drexel. Those three teams have started to break away from the pack, and it sets up an exciting stretch run to the CA tournament.
Yep. This leads us to what should be an exciting few days in Charleston, and we're not even talking about the tournament. Well, not yet, as the Cougars will play host to both Northeastern and Hofstra this week. Let's first preview Thursday night's contest on CA.TV, as the College of Charleston will welcome the first-place Pride into TD Arena.
Yeah, what a matchup this should be, between not only the two of the hottest teams in the nation, but two teams with contrasting styles. Hofstra leads the CA in nearly every offensive category. The Pride's averaging 85 points per game in conference play while shooting better than 50% from the floor and 40% from three. Interestingly, they had their best shooting effort of the season in the first matchup with Charleston, hitting 62% from the floor and draining 10 trays. The Cougars' top-ranked defense was able to limit Justin Wright Foreman to 19 points, but the Pride got big performances from Eli Pemberton, Jaquil Taylor, and Jalen Ray. That balance is one of the reasons that the Pride has won 18 of its last 19 games. Now, since falling to Hofstra on January 19th, Charleston has reeled off 6 straight wins. The Cougars have turned up the intensity defensively, holding opponents under 60 points in all 4 games played at TD Arena during that stretch, and they've also done a better job of taking care of the ball. In that first meeting between the teams, Grant Riller, Jarrell Brantley, and Brevin Galloway combined for 59 of Charleston's 72 points. But to keep pace with Hofstra, it will be important for the Cougars to get contributions from some other guys. They'll also need to take advantage of an energized crowd at TD Arena, where they're 27-1 over the last 2.5 seasons.
Also on Thursday night at 7 on CA.TV and NBC Sports Washington, as Delaware will make the short trip to Towson. Intriguing matchup here, Rob, with these two rivals fighting in the middle of the pack in the CA standings.
Yeah, when these two teams met on January 19th in Newark, it was a tale of two halves. Delaware had a commanding 37-22 lead at the half, but Towson shot 69% over the final 20 minutes and pulled out a 64-63 victory. That game started a run of success for the Tigers, who have won 4 of their last 6 and have closed within a game and a half of the 4th-place Blue Hens. Now, part of the reason for Towson's upswing has been improvement on offense, where they're shooting nearly 50% from the floor over the last 6 games. Leading that charge is junior Brian Fobbs, who's coming off a 29-point performance in a win over JMU last Saturday. Delaware ended a 3-game slide with a 70-66 victory over UNCW last Saturday, and the trip to Towson starts an important road swing for the Blue Hens in regards to seeding for the CA tournament. Eric Carter's back is improving, and he delivered a double-double with 12 points and 13 rebounds against the Seahawks, moving within 7 points of 1,000 for his career. Point guard Kevin Anderson also is coming off a big week offensively, where he averaged 15.5 points in the 2 games. Towson has won the past 7 meetings between these two rivals, and it will be interesting to see if that streak continues.
Stay with the Tigers as we move to Saturday at 2 o'clock on CA.TV as Towson plays host to Drexel. The Dragons also see themselves coming into the week in that tight pack in the middle of the conference race.
Yeah, Drexel has won 2 of its last 3, and Saturday's game will be its final one on the road before closing with 3 straight at the friendly confines of the DAC. Scoring the ball is not a problem for the Dragons, as they rank 2nd in the league with 77 points per game and have 4 guys averaging double digits, led by Troy Harper and Alihan Demir. The key for Drexel is defense. They're 5-0 in CA play when holding their opponent under 70 points, but 1-5 when allowing more than 70. One of those wins came against Towson, where they limited the Tigers to just 32% shooting from the floor. Now, Towson enters the week just a half game back of the Dragons, so it's an important game for them as well. Nakai Sanders recorded a double-double with 13 points and 10 rebounds in the first game against Drexel, and his ability to complement the outside scoring of Brian Fobbs could be a key. The action on the floor won't be the only important thing happening on Saturday as Towson celebrates Autism Speaks Weekend, a cause that Tigers head coach Pat Scarry initiated with fellow coach Tom Harrion several years ago, and it has taken off nationally to bring awareness and hopefully promote solutions to people with autism and their families. Watch for the blue puzzle piece pins on the lapels of coaches this weekend, and the Tigers will also be wearing special blue uniforms.
Yep. And we wrap up back in Charleston at Saturday at 4, and it will be our CA Game of the Week on Sports Live as the Huskies and the Cougars will square off for the second time this year.
Yeah, these teams have played a number of down-to-the-wire games over the past couple of seasons, including last year's overtime thriller in the CA Championship, and I would expect more of the same on Saturday. Both teams have been playing extremely well over the past month, and a big key has been the defense. Northeastern's limiting opponents to just 30% shooting from three-point range in CA play and has held 4 straight foes under 70 points. In the first meeting, the Huskies held Charleston to 6 of 21 shooting from beyond the arc and forced 17 turnovers and a 72-60 win. The Cougars, meanwhile, are number 1 in the league in scoring defense, giving up just 66 points in CA play. Charleston limited Northeastern to 3 of 21 shooting from 3 in the first matchup, but the Huskies were an amazing 22 for 28 on 2-point buckets. Now, while defense might be the key to this one, don't forget that this game features 2 of the league's most dynamic backcourt players in Boston Pushitsa and Grant Riller, and both of those guys always seem to be at their best in big games.
Yes, they do. Now here's a look at the rest of the upcoming action around CAA men's basketball.
The month of March is not for the weak. If you want to get to the big dance, the road starts here. Every practice, every game leads to this moment. Win or go home. The CAA tournament is coming to Charleston March 9th through 12th. 10 teams, 1 goal, to be crowned champion. Go to CAAsports.com for more information.
CASports.com will have all the information you need once again this weekend regarding links to live stats, video, and audio coverage. Also, fans, you can watch all of the CA.TV action on several devices such as Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Android TV by downloading the CAA.TV app that is available now.
You can also continue to follow the league on Facebook and Instagram by searching CA Sports. We're also on Twitter at CA Basketball using the hashtag CA Hoops.
The CA on-campus crew was at Hofstra this past weekend. For more on our trip to visit the Pride, visit our social media platforms and stay tuned this week for our feature on Justin Wright Foreman and Desir Bowie.
Yeah, part of the reason that Justin Wright Foreman and Desir Bowie perform so well together on the court is the close relationship that the two have developed off the court. Our crew had some fun and played a game to see just how much they know about one another. You won't want to miss it.
Our on-campus crew will be back on the road again this weekend at Towson. Once again, stay tuned to our social media outlets for all the behind-the-scenes action from Towson, and visit CASports.com next week for a feature on the Tigers. That is it from us today. Enjoy the games, everyone.